Greetings Internet, DDA here, and I'm feeling a little deviant today. Welcome to week 10 of my Card of the Week segment. Last week was Blue Mental Drill. If you didn't get a chance to see that video, please click on the link. This week, for Namekian style, I didn't choose Namekian silencing, but I did hear your guys' pleas for Namekian silencing, and I agree that it's most definitely worth Card of the Week. However, with set 2 coming out, I felt like I should wait until next time to do that card, because with a card that shuts down all events and is going to have such an impact in the set 2 metagame, I felt like I should give it more time so I could give that powerful card the full dedication that it deserves. So this week for Namekian style, I chose Namekian Hybrid Defense. And this card has an effect: stops a physical or energy attack. Choose X cards in your discard pile and rejuvenate them. X equals your MP's level. Now the main reason I chose this card is because during my first week segment, we chose 4 cards in total that we felt defined the style. Now all of these cards are extremely strong, but one card that we left out was Namekian Hybrid Defense. If I chose 5 cards, it would have been included in that first week segment, because this card is a block that's so powerful, I'm sure that we're going to be seeing it pop up in Namekian decks for the rest of this game. As far as damage reduction is concerned, you're going to see right away that this card stops both physical and energy attacks. This means that this card is going to cover all your bases. There is no attack that's going to come at you that you're going to not be able to block with this card. Since Panini America has already stated that they're not going to be supporting focus attacks in this game, this makes Omni or hybrid blocks much better. You're not going to have to worry about the type of deck that you're facing. This block will always be a useful card in your hand that you can use in combat. The big thing that you're going to get with this card when you talk about damage reduction is it's allowing you to rejuvenate anywhere between 1 and 4 cards back into your life deck. It's almost as if you're blocking the damage of 2 attacks total. The damage of the attack that you're blocking with this card, and the damage of the next attack that your opponent performs against you by rejuvenating all those cards to absorb damage. If you want to absorb a lot of damage, feel free to rejuvenate cards with a lot of endurance back into your life deck. Suddenly, then you're not rejuvenating just 1, 2, or 3 cards anymore. Instead, you're actually increasing the effective deck count of your life deck by up to over 9 cards. This is the block that just keeps on giving, because after you factor in the endurance of the cards you're rejuvenating, this single block could possibly absorb the damage for up to 3 attacks. There is one significant disadvantage of this card. It is an event card. And as players gain more and more access to the heroic and villainous energy spheres of this game, as well as the desire to play these energy spheres increases with set 2 coming out with so many more useful events, the chance of this block being sphered by your opponent is increasing over time. And let me tell you, if your opponent spheres a block that you play in combat, it hurts. If this is the card that you're using as the defense against an attack, and your opponent spheres it, you can do nothing but sit there as the attack blows through your defense and hits you in the face. So because of all these reasons, I'm going to give this card a 4.5 out of 5 for total damage reduction. It's an Omni block, so it can stop both physicals and energies, as well as this card has the potential to absorb the damage of up to 3 attacks once you factor in card's endurance. However, it being an event card means your opponent can sphere it and put some real hurt on you. Next up, for effect, the keyword that I want you all to think of when you look at this card's effect is discard pile manipulation. There are many cards in the Namekian style that rejuvenate and shuffle cards from your discard pile into your life deck. However, the cards that actually search through your discard pile and cherry pick those cards are very limited. With this card, you can see the true power of rejuvenation. That is putting key cards back into your life deck that you want to draw later in the game. Sometimes there's a little bit of confusion with rejuvenation. What should I be putting back in my life deck? Really, the use of this card is going to depend on the situation. But one thing I can tell you is the cards that you rejuvenate with this card are going to be ones that you want to draw into your hand. And that is the main use of rejuvenation. Another big point about this effect is that it's actually going to get stronger as the game goes on. You're going to start out the game only really rejuvenating 1 card with this, quickly becoming 2 cards as the game progresses on and your life deck starts waning thinner and thinner. And at that time, that's when this card is going to be the strongest, when you're level 3 and 4 and you're going to be putting 3 or 4 cards back into your life deck. There are some times where this effect can be disrupted. You are rejuvenating cards from your discard pile, So if you're playing a black deck or another deck that utilizes a lot of discard pile removal, you're going to be limited with the cards that you can choose to rejuvenate with this card. So for these reasons, I'm going to give this card a 4.5 out of 5 for effect. This effect gives Namekian a head above all the other styles. Finally, for combo potential, I'm sure all of you know the many ways you can use this card in combat. Right away, being an actual rejuvenation effect, you can easily activate all the cards in Namekian style that trigger off of being rejuvenated. Cards like Namekian Knee Block, Namekian Silence, and Namekian Flinch. If at some point you took one of those cards for damage, with this card, you can choose it, rejuvenate it, and get its effect. That makes this card one of the only cards in Namekian style with the potential to gain you 4 anger. You'll need 3 Namekian Knee Blocks as well as the rejuvenation of this card to trigger you 4 anger. But hey, just the possibility of doing that is good enough for me. Other cards that Namekian Hybrid Defense can help you counter with include Namekian Palm Shots and Namekian Overtime. With Palm Shots, you're actually going to be able to choose the card that you want to draw into your hand. So you can choose the best energy attack in your discard pile that you want to draw into your hand. Likewise, with Namekian Overtime, if it's getting towards the end of the game and you're running out of energy combats that you have left in your deck, you can pick and choose some useful energy combats to put back into your deck to give you some targets and availability for Namekian Overtime. And the fact that it doesn't remove itself from the game after use means that it can be drawn back into your hand over and over and over again. I've actually gotten into a situation where I've drawn Namekian Hybrid Defense into my hand 3 times total by using Namekian Finger Lasers and Namekian Sidekick. The infinite wall of hybrid defense is real and it is scary. And for these reasons, I'm going to give this card a 5 out of 5 for combo potential. I really see no downside with this card for combos. Adding up the scores of this card give it the high total of 14 out of 15. Like I said in the beginning, I don't see this card leaving Namekian decks for a long time. The only block in the game, in my opinion, that rivals Time is a Warrior's tool for total damage reduction. So I hope you like week 10 of my Card of the Week segment. Next week is Orange Style. So if you have an idea of what Orange Style card I should review, please comment in the comments section below. And as always, turn your dial to Random Number Gaming for weekly updates for the Dragon Ball Z card game.